Welcome to the Wildish Women Podcast, the podcast for women who want to discuss the real raw nitty-gritty of life, find your girl group, or just have a glass of wine with company over the internet. Brought to you from Arizona, I'm your host, Jess Holmes, and this is Wildish Women. Man, I am feeling that intro. I'm not even gonna lie. I've been working on it for a little while and it has turned out way better than I thought it would doing it myself, not gonna lie. Anyways, welcome to the Wildish Women Podcast. This is going to be just an intro episode about who we are, how we were created, and where we're going, pretty much. So, Wildish Women actually started from a TikTok. If you are not on TikTok, you are missing out, and that is sad, really, honestly. Do you remember, I like to explain TikTok to people as when Pinterest first came out, nobody really messed with it, and then when they did, it was, addictive. You wanted to save everything to a board, you couldn't stop. So that's pretty much what TikTok is to me. It is like the new Pinterest, except it's kept my interests way longer in the nicest way possible. I still love Pinterest, but TikTok is just where it's at for me lately. I love it. Anyways, so I created a TikTok pretty much about needing mom friends, wanting mom friends. I've lived in Arizona for almost 9 years now. And though I've made friends, I haven't really found anybody that I'm super, super close with. In general, I don't have a bestie for the restie is how I feel. So I kind of made a TikTok that was a little trending thing. And I thought it would be funny to throw in wine and whiskey because those are my drinks of choice. And sure enough, it resonated with a ton of women in Arizona and outside of Arizona. But being that I'm in Arizona, that's all I can help with for now. So everybody was kind of like, oh, we should do something. We should have an outing. I will be your friend, different things like that. So I was like, all right, let's do it then. So I made a group on Facebook and kind of just started telling everybody hey, I made this group. So if you'd like to come join, come on over. We'll create events and we'll get to know each other. So I created the group and I honestly thought maybe a couple hundred would come over, 200 people. Thousands of people came over and I was floored. I did not expect it to translate that well because normally I feel as a content creator, when you do something on a platform and you're like, hey, go to this other platform, it usually doesn't convert as well as the same platform you posted on. So anyways, the group grew really quickly in the beginning and I held an event very last minute the week I made it. And I was like, hey, if anybody can come out to downtown Gilbert, I'll be there. We can grab a drink, we can chat, get to know each other. And there was about, let me see, I think 6 of us. 6 of us showed up. We all kind of chat. And of course, it's weird in a way because you teach your kids and stuff not to meet strangers on the internet. But here I am, a stranger on the internet, inviting people to come hang out with me. But anyways, we met at the porch and I had never been there before. I brought my friend Haley because I was like, hey, I also don't want to get murdered and chopped up into little pieces. So 5 additional women showed up, and funny enough, those 5 women were amazing. We got to know each other really well, and 3 of them are very active in the group still. Everybody has stuff going on, so I don't hold it against anybody. But I was after I left, I was this was great. This was a solid first meeting. It didn't last very long, but we got to chat a little bit. I got a feel of different people in the area, different ages, because we were 25 to 40 something. So I was that was great. So I made another plan to have an event, this time in downtown Gilbert again, because I live next to downtown Gilbert, and it was at Dirks Bentley Whiskey Row. So I put up the event and it said 30 something people were going to come, but I didn't think that many people would actually commit to coming to the event because it's scary. And I get that, especially when it's a new thing, So I posted a picture of the first event and was like, so good meeting everybody. Like, this was the first event. Like, please come out. And so I called Dirks Bentley and reserved 2 tables just because I was like, I'd rather have it than not have it if all these people actually show up. Lo and behold, more than what I planned for showed up. And it was amazing, guys. I cannot believe how many women showed up for this and how many friendships came from literally this second event. There's so many friendships that were built then that are still going strong now. And it was literally amazing. I was floored. It was more than I could imagine from a TikTok, So since then, we have had so many events. We've done so many different projects. We've been grannies and run the town. We've just had happy hours. We've gone hiking, salt river tubing, all of that. So as of right now, the group stands at about, I think we're at 7,500 members, which is pretty solid in my opinion. And we are still doing events weekly, multiple events a week, a lot of times. And honestly, people have been asking for a podcast, and being the procrastinator that I am, have been trying to work on it, but this is as quickly as I've gotten to it. Obviously, it's been months, but here I am. I'm making it happen. So what's going to happen with the show is the goal is to bring on members from our group. There are so many walks of life, so many different ages. I think the youngest we have in the group is 18 and the oldest is in their 70s. And even if you don't come to the events with us, like, you can still find people within the group to chat with and hang out with, and that's like has similar interests if you don't want to come to events. I really love meeting new people. I can talk to a wall. So I love it when new people come out to events. It's just, you never know who you're going to meet, and you never know when you're going to click with somebody and they'll be a lifelong person in your life. I believe in soulmates, and I don't believe that soulmates are necessarily a romantic connection. I think it's just a soul connection. But I won't get into it that much today. Anyways, the goal of the podcast is we're going to bring in different members from the group, and we are going to discuss literally any and everything on this podcast. I want all the women to have their voices heard, the stuff they go through, making friends as an adult. There are so many topics. It's honestly endless. So that is the As far as the group goes, we have a lot going on. Our first anniversary is coming up where our group is hitting a year old. So woo! Super exciting. We are going to Whiskey Row again, as long as Whiskey Row will accommodate us. I know they've kind of changed their policies, but hopefully we can work something out. But I'm so excited. There's a lot of publications in the work for Wildish Women. We've got the podcast going now. We're working on a collaboration with State 48. There's just a lot going for the group, and I'm super excited to see where we go. I'm super excited for new chapters in other states to open. We're working on North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, and potentially California right now. But we will see. The sky's the limit is how I see it. And I know that's cheesy, but I believe it. So that is all for this episode. It's short and sweet. I didn't want to get into anything too deep. I just wanted to introduce our group. So that's who we are. And stay tuned for the next episode where we really start digging into all the fun topics. Until then, I'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to today's Wildish Women Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and review us. Until next time, stay wildish.